All right, so today we're going to do something kind of different.
Okay.
We've got this document from a power washing company.
Hmm.
They're called All-Star Power Cleaning, and they say they're like the best choice for all your exterior home maintenance.
Interesting.
Yeah, we're going to kind of explore what makes them stand out,
Okay.
see if their claims, actually hold water,
Uh-huh.
pun intended.
Right.
But one thing that really jumped out at me was the owner.
Yeah.
He's got an engineering background.
Oh, wow.
Which isn't something you usually see with power washing, is it?
Not really.
Yeah.
No. That's pretty interesting.
It makes you wonder if that kind of influences how they approach exterior cleaning.
Yeah, definitely.
So they offer like a whole bunch of services,
What-
not just pressure washing. Obviously, they do that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they also have soft washing.
Soft washing.
Yeah, it uses gentler chemicals to clean more delicate surfaces.
Oh, okay.
Like roofs, windows, things like that.
Gotcha.
And they even do paver sealing and driveway cleaning and sealing.
Wow. So it's like
Yeah.
one company for like all your exterior needs.
Exactly. It's like a one-stop shop.
That's convenient.
And they even go a step further.
Really?
They'll connect customers with other professionals for
Okay.
things they don't handle,
Like what?
like a landscaping roofing gutter repair.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, they're really trying to build like a network of trusted professionals.
That definitely adds value for the customer.
Absolutely.
It shows they're thinking about the big picture.
Right. And speaking of value, one thing I thought was really interesting was that 30% of their business
Mm-hmm.
comes from repeat customers.
Wow.
That's a pretty impressive retention rate.
Yeah, definitely.
It seems like they're doing something right when it comes to customer satisfaction.
Absolutely. And building those long-term relationships and their reviews online.
Yeah.
They've got an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau
Oh, wow.
and over 155 five-star reviews on Google.
That's amazing.
But do those reviews mention anything about their unique approach? Like, with the engineer at the helm.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
We'll have to look into that. But
Tell me-
first, let's talk about their CRM system.
Their what?
Their CRM system.
CRM.
Yeah.
Not something you typically hear about with a power washing company.
I know, right?
It's interesting, though.
It is.
It kind of shows their commitment to being professional and transparent.
Yeah, and they use it for a lot of things, like giving detailed quotes to customers,
So,
making sure people can easily access their credentials and insurance,
yeah.
and just generally streamlining all their communication.
So they're trying to create a smooth experience for their customers.
Yeah, it seems like they've really thought this through.
Interesting.
So now let's talk about that engineer owner we mentioned.
All right.
His name is Robert Spots.
Okay.
He graduated from the University of Dayton
Mhm.
with a degree in manufacturing engineering technology.
Why?
And he's got 12 years of experience
Okay.
in industries like oil and gas, aerospace, and electronics.
That's a pretty diverse background.
I know, right?
It makes you wonder how all that experience translates to power washing.
Right. Like, does it actually make a difference?
Exactly.
Like, I can see how it might bring precision and problem-solving skills.
Yeah.
But are there any, like, concrete examples of how it actually shows up in their services?
Yeah. That's what I'm curious about, too.
Okay.
They do mention that all their technicians go through extensive training
Oh, okay.
and that they're paid based on how well they perform.
Interesting.
And they also do background checks on everyone.
That's good.
Yeah, for safety and peace of mind.
Definitely.
So they're really investing in their workforce.
It seems like they're prioritizing quality.
Yeah,
But how does their pricing compare to their competitors,
that's a great point.
especially those who maybe don't invest as much in their team?
Right.
Like, are they more expensive?
Let's see what they have to say about that.
Okay.
They seem to make a distinction between large corporations and small, low-value companies.
It sounds like they're trying to find that sweet spot,
Yeah.
like offering the professionalism of a big company, but with the personalized service of a smaller business.
That makes sense.
And they specifically call out large corporations for having overpriced payments,
Oh, yeah.
where your money is going to corporate overhead instead of the actual service.
That's a common complaint.
It is, and it resonates with a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And they also say that unlike those big companies,
Uh-huh.
they don't rely on minimally trained, lower-paid workers.
Okay.
They emphasize that their technicians are highly compensated and thoroughly vetted and extensively trained.
So it's like a selling point for them.
Yeah, they're really trying to differentiate themselves based on the quality and expertise of their workforce.
Interesting.
Like, they're basically saying, we invest in our people, and that means you get a better service.
That's a strong argument.
It is.
But it would be interesting to see if that's actually reflected in customer reviews.
Yeah, like are there any reviews that specifically praise the technician's knowledge or skills?
Exactly.
I'll have to dig into those reviews and see.
Okay.
Another thing they talk about is personalized service.
Okay.
Something they say you don't get with those big corporations.
Mm,
No high-pressure sales tactics.
right.
Clear contracts.
Okay.
Accessible customer service, and flexible scheduling.
So they're focusing on the customer experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's appealing to a lot of people.
It is.
I mean, I definitely appreciate a personalized approach.
Me too.
And it seems like that's what All-Star's trying to do.
Yeah, they're really trying to cater to that preference.
Okay, cool.
But they're not just trying to be better than the big guys.
Right.
They also want to set themselves apart from smaller, less established companies.
Okay.
They talk about their track record and say they've been in business for over 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good sign in this industry.
It is. It means they've been around for a while and they're not just going to disappear overnight.
Right.
And they're not afraid to talk about the risks of going with a less experienced contractor.
Like what kind of risks?
Well, for one thing, they say they carry a $2 million aggregate insurance policy.
$2 million.
Yeah. Plus workers' compensation coverage.
That's a lot of coverage.
It is.
And it's important.
Yeah, especially when you think about the potential for property damage
Absolutely.
or accidents, with this kind of work.
For sure.
It's not something you want to take lightly.
No, definitely not.
So they're really trying to emphasize that they're a safe and reliable choice.
That makes sense.
And they're backing it up with that insurance,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is a good sign.
It is.
It shows they're taking it seriously.
Yeah.
And that they're prepared for anything.
Right.
So that's a big plus in my book.
Definitely.
And they really emphasize that, you could be held liable if an uninsured contractor damages your property
Oh, wow.
or gets injured on the job.
Yeah. That's a risk a lot of people don't even think about.
Yeah.
It's good that they're highlighting that.
And speaking of risks,
Yeah.
they talk a lot about the potential problems with DIY pressure washing.
Really?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Like what kind of problems are they talking about?
Well, they cover the obvious stuff like,
Mhm.
stripping paint or damaging your siding.
Right.
Or even your roof if you use the wrong pressure.
Yeah.
But they also talk about things like inconsistent results,
Oh, no, like what?
like streaks or stains, because you didn't use the right technique for the surface.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, like you wouldn't clean a wood deck the same way you'd clean concrete.
Right. Of course.
And they say that their technicians are trained to,
Mhm.
identify those nuances and use the right approach.
Okay.
They also talk about the safety risks
Oh, yeah.
of DIY pressure washing.
That's true. Those machines can be dangerous.
Yeah, like if you don't know what you're doing, you could get hurt.
Yeah, especially if you're working at heights or something.
Exactly. And they really emphasize that their technicians are trained to work safely.
Okay, that's good.
And they also highlight the equipment they use.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're not just using,
Mhm.
some basic pressure washer from the hardware store.
Right.
They've invested in advanced professional grade equipment,
Okay.
which makes a big difference in terms of,
Mm-hmm.
efficiency and power and even safety.
So they're not messing around.
Nope, they're taking it seriously.
That's good to hear.
And they also talk about their proven processes.
That sounds intriguing.
Yeah, right?
Do they explain what that means?
Well, they say the processes were developed by the owner himself.
Oh, so maybe that's where his engineering background comes in?
Yeah, maybe.
Interesting.
It's like they're saying we don't just wing it.
Right.
We have a system to make sure we get consistent, high-quality results.
That's a good approach.
Yeah, and it could be that that system is based on,
Yeah.
engineering principles.
That's a cool idea.
It is.
So they're really presenting themselves as more than just a power washing company. It's like they're a team of professionals with a really systematic approach.
Yeah, almost scientific.
But is it all just marketing, or is there real substance behind it?
Good question.
I'd love to hear from some of their customers,
Mhm.
see what their actual experiences have been like.
Me too. It's one thing to make claims,
Right.
but it's another to actually deliver on them.
Exactly. We need to see if their actions match their words.
So to sum up what we've learned so far,
Yeah.
All-Star Power Cleaning is positioning itself as a reliable, experienced, and professional company that's committed to customer satisfaction.
Sound good so far.
They're emphasizing their investment in training, technology, and equipment,
Okay.
and they're offering a personalized approach
Mm-hmm.
that sets them apart from both large corporations and smaller competitors.
And they're not afraid to talk about the risks of DIY or going with a less experienced contractor.
Right. They're trying to educate people and build trust by being transparent,
That's smart.
So it's a pretty impressive package they're presenting.
Yeah, it is.
But the question is, do they actually live up to those claims?
That's the million-dollar question.
Right. We've explored their message and their services and their values, but ultimately it's up to the homeowner to decide if All-Star is the right fit for them.
Exactly. Like, do they value reliability and expertise?
Right. And do they want a company that's transparent and easy to work with?
Those are the things people need to consider.
So we've provided the information and the insights, but the final decision is up to the listener.
Right.
They need to do their own research and figure out what's best for them.
That's where the real deep dive begins.
Exactly.
It's about taking this information and applying it to your own situation.
And making the choice that feels right for you.
So as we wrap up this exploration of All-Star Power Cleaning, we want to leave you with a few key takeaways.
Okay.
First, the value of experience and expertise. All-Star has really highlighted the skills and training of their technicians.
Right. And the equipment they use.
And their proven processes.
They're making a case for why it's worth investing in a company that's invested in itself.
They're not just talking about technical skills.
Right.
They're also emphasizing the importance of understanding different surfaces and techniques.
And the potential for damage if you go with someone less experienced.
Exactly.
They're also drawing a distinction between themselves and those big impersonal corporations.
Yeah, they want to be seen as a company that cares about its customers.
And that offers personalized service and clear communication.
Right. That's appealing to a lot of people.
It is.
And let's not forget about safety and transparency.
Yeah, they're upfront about the risks and the importance of insurance.
And they're transparent about their pricing.
So what stands out to you from this deep dive?
Good question.
What resonates with you most?
What are your initial impressions of All-Star?
Do they seem like a company that aligns with your values?
We encourage you to think about these questions.
And use this information as a starting point for your own research.
Your home is a big investment.
It is.
And you want to make sure you're taking care of it.
Absolutely.
So find a company you can trust.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
We hope you found it informative.
And thought-provoking.
And as always, stay curious.
And they even mention, those people who are just starting out in this field.
Right.
Like college students or new entrepreneurs.
Right.
Offering power washing services.
Yeah.
They actually acknowledge their ambition.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's like they're not dismissing those individuals entirely.
Okay.
But they're drawing a distinction.
Between what?
Between enthusiasm and actual professional expertise.
Right, because you can be enthusiastic, but not necessarily have the experience to do the job properly.
They respect the hustle, but they're saying that professional exterior cleaning, it takes more than just willingness to work hard. They talk about the specialized knowledge, the safety protocols and all that, and the potential for making costly mistakes if you don't know what you're doing.
So it's a good reminder that sometimes it's better to trust the professionals.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to something as important as your home.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So overall, I think they make a pretty strong case for why they stand out from the competition.
Okay.
Remember those 3 key things they highlighted?
I know.
Technicians trained by industry leaders.
Okay, yeah.
Advanced equipment. And those refined processes developed by the owner.
Right, the engineer guy.
Exactly. Maybe he used his engineering background to create those processes.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, and each of those things really points to,
what?
A commitment to quality and exceeding industry standards.
Right.
But it all comes back to this.
What's that?
Do those things actually translate into a better customer experience?
That's the real question.
Yeah, like do they actually result in a cleaner, safer, more satisfying outcome for the homeowner?
Because that's what really matters. So we've talked about All-Star's claims and their services and the risks of going with a less experienced option.
Right.
Now it's up to you to decide if they're the right fit for you.
If you're looking for a company that really goes above and beyond
and
invests in its people and its processes, and that really prioritizes customer satisfaction,
then All-Star might be worth checking out.
But don't stop there.
Right.
Do your own research.
Right.
Read those customer reviews we mentioned. Compare All-Star to other companies in your area.
Good idea.
And don't hesitate to contact them directly with any questions.
Yeah, knowledge is power.
It is.
So arm yourself with information.
Right.
And make informed decisions.
That way you can make sure your home is getting the best possible care.
Exactly.
So thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of All-Star power cleaning.
We hope you learned something.
And that you found it interesting.
And as always, keep learning and keep exploring.
That's what the deep dive is all about.